I'm Frances Qualley, and I am now 90 years of age, and I'd like to send out a challenge.
Frances, you just called me out, challenging me eye to eye to a plank. Okay, here we go. What are we doing right now, Frances?
We're doing a plank with our bum down.
Bum down. Okay. I think you mentioned that just because mine was still in the air. I'm gonna stop real soon. You're still going. Okay.
Yeah, I have strong arms. I
Yeah,
think.
you do.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna tap out.
You can do a plank from your knees also, like this.
You're offering me the softer option? It hurts to lose, always.
Oh, dear.
Ify Chiwetelu, did you just lose in a plank off to a 90-year-old?
What I think happened is I won a lying face down on the ground competition.
Perspective.
It's perspective,
That's all
always.
This is Now or Never on CBC Radio 1, the show that gets right up close. We're talking eyeball to eyeball with Canadians who are making things happen. I'm Trevor Deneen.
And I'm Ify Chiwetelu, and today on the show, we'll be trying to keep up with senior citizens just like Frances.
Because we're on a mission, Canada. We want to know the secret to rocking your golden years.
And you might want to take notes, save this episode somewhere, because there is a lot to learn from those who are over 65.
Yeah, we date, and we have private space that you can go to, so people can go and watch TV or do whatever.
I love the ukulele. I'm not really that good at it yet, but I just go and do it.
You know, I always hesitate when people ask me what's my age, and I do this quick analysis of what's behind the question. What kind of prejudice is going to come out if I actually say what my age is?
It's true. When people ask you that question, you know they're judging.
In today's episode, you're going to hear so many people like that who may challenge how you envision your golden years.
And hopefully, listening to the stories are going to give you that kick in the pants to just reimagine the possibilities of aging. Well, let's start things off by getting you to picture in your head a typical retirement home, whatever that looks like for you. Do you have it there? Well, I bet it looks nothing like this one.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing? Oh, hello.
Jersey.
Hello, Jersey.
He's our watchdog.
That's a very terrifying watchdog right there.
Hi, Trevor. Linda.
Linda, very nice to meet you.
Catherine.
Catherine?
And I'm Bev.
Bev, very nice to meet you as well. Now, these are 3 of the 5 women who live in this absolutely beautiful, century-old, 3-story character home in Winnipeg, and it's called Twin Pillars. Can I get a tour of the house? Yeah? And if you listen to this, you can actually see why I call this house rockin'.
And then we have a 3-season room here.
Look at this. Is that a hot tub I see?
That's a hot tub, yeah.
Okay, we're going to do the rest of the interview in the hot tub. Ladies, we're going in the hot tub.
Did you?
I wish.
Ah.
I offered to go home and get my suit, but then they were like, we should probably just do the interview with our clothes on.
That's good advice.
I know, you think so, eh? Bev Suick, though, she's the person that actually owns the house, and she and her husband, they bought it about 40 years ago, and they raised 7 children there. Now, as the decades passed on, her husband unfortunately passed away, and her kids, they all moved out of the house.
Sounds like there's a lot of space.
There's so much space. This house is gigantic. And that's why Bev decided that she was going to open the doors to it to other women of a certain age who were just looking for company and a fresh type of retirement community. And here's my conversation with Bev and 2 of her roommates, Linda Toronto and Catherine Lowry. I started by asking Bev if she always knew what she wanted to do with this home.
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, I ran into a friend of mine who I knew 10 years ago, and she said, you finally did that thing you always wanted to do. And I thought, I was talking about this 10 years ago. I was really surprised that I had wanted to do it that far back.
What made you want to do it all the way back then?
I didn't like living alone. I found it quite lonely. And, I looked around and I saw lots of other women who lived alone in their own houses, and they were lonely because you don't have that natural sort of community that when you're living alone, it feels, safe and comfortable because it's your own home. But the price you pay is loneliness. And I really didn't want to do that. I wanted to be with people who I could share ideas and stuff with. And I just find this is really quite great for me. It's almost like setting up a family. You consider yourself a family, not just roommates or, someone who happens to live there. It actually is about caring and sharing. So that's what an intentional community is.
What were you looking for when you moved in?
I was looking for company. I was living in a condo in Osborne Village, and that was new for me. I was there for a year, and it was lovely, and there was a great view. But I'd come home and I'd go, where is everybody? Like everybody's just closed off from each other, right? And I was just lonely. I mean, I have people all day, but I'd come home. It was just like, what am I going to do now?
And then moving into here just kind of changed everything for you?
Yeah, it was fabulous. Yeah. It popped up on my email and I looked at it, I said, that's for me. Yeah. So we had tea here in the living room and it was awesome. I don't even remember talking about living. We had so many things to talk about. It was very cool. It was like we hit it off. So
Did your friends notice a difference in you? To like being lonely to all of a sudden being here?
I don't know, but I know I don't see them as often as I used to because I have a built-in community. So, yeah.
Do you enjoy it here?
I love it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've been here. I'm the newest one here.
When did you move in?
May.
May?
May, yeah.
What made you decide to come move in?
Well, my son moved out, and I've lived with only him most of my life, and he's been in and out a few times. So I've been alone long enough.
Yeah.
And I want to share my life with other people and look after one another as we age so that we don't have to burden our kids and go to a nursing home or something like that.
What would your friends say when they found out you were moving in here?
Well, my brother, who's in real estate, said, well, you've got an exit clause, I hope.
Oh, you're skeptical, eh?
Yeah, he was. And I had them all over, actually, my whole family last Friday, a week or so ago. They were really happy for me.
Yeah.
And my son actually says, yeah, Mom, you belong here. It's funny, when you live alone, sometimes you sort of start to become a hermit. I did, and I've talked to other women. And then, you get into lots of reading and, just being on your own. And then when you have to be invited somewhere, it's almost like, oh, now I got to get ready and dressed. But then the next morning, I'm like, oh, it's so lonely. Like, why didn't I go? Yeah. So, yeah, I just feel more alive, like more energetic.
That's really nice, though.
Yeah.
What do you think when people reference a certain TV show when it comes to the people who live in this house? Like the Golden Girls?
Well, they were really focused on dating, But yeah, we date and we have private space that you can go to. The basement's a guest room, and so people can go and watch TV or do whatever.
It's like, there's a sock on the doorknob, everyone. Avoid that area.
No, for some people it's important, so it's a good thing to do. And yeah, if you have a partner, then that's... I mean, we wouldn't want to have somebody move in here. That would, I think we'd draw the line at that.
I think in the beginning you must think to yourself, okay, I'm going to have this house with all these women, it's going to be fun. But at the same time, you don't know who you're going to be bringing into your home. What was that first kind of interview process like, or the first woman you brought in?
Well, Linda was the first one, and it was by word of mouth. We had sort of mutual friends, and we just had a chat about what she wanted and what I wanted, and it's worked out really well. But now we do have a process. We send people sort of a paper on what we're doing, that it's an intentional community. Don't think you're just renting a room. And then one of us takes them on a tour to see if they're still interested. And if they're still interested, we have a questionnaire that we send to them that sort of is about their values, what's important to them, to see if they are a mix for us. And if that looks okay, then we all do an interview with them.
That must be intimidating. Did you feel intimidated when you did it?
Well, Bev was very formal with me. She said we put a lot of importance on the interview and that kind of thing. So, yeah, I was a little nervous.
Do you play like bad cop during the whole thing? Is that what you do?
Well, it's a process, and I think we need to we do have a year contract with people, and then at the end of the year we decide whether or not that's working for us and for them.
Well, we also have policies, like we have our meetings, our monthly meetings, and we have a policy set up on, we have to be realistic that you're not always going to get along with everybody. So, how to solve a problem directly with that person, and then hopefully you can come to an agreement. And if you can't, then we take it to the table.
Mm-hmm. What is this? Is that the policy manual? Yes. Oh my goodness. Can I flip through this? I'm so intrigued. Okay, I am sorry. This is like a thick little manual. Overview, principles, memberships, meetings. You have food and kitchen tasks. Okay, can you read the principles here for me under the food and kitchen tasks?
I know the principles. Everyone has one day that they cook and at least 2 days that they clean after dinner. No one is obliged to be there for dinner, but it's expected that you text or call the cook 2 hours in advance if you aren't going to be there. Okay, these are old.
It was just the first page.
Yeah, I know.
So what is the next step for you guys here?
I intend this to go on forever.
Mm-hmm.
This is a model that I believe in. I like it. I don't want to live anywhere else. And, for other people who want to do it, I really think it's great. And we would help other people who want to do this kind of thing.
Timeline-wise, how long do you expect to live here?
I'm planning to die here. So whatever long that takes, maybe, 20 years, 30.
Bev's like, you're on a 1-year contract.
Oh, no, she's beyond the 1-year contract.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's permanent now.
How about yourself?
I intend to stay as long as I'm healthy and alive.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love this little community. I really do.
Come join the party. Yeah. We got one room coming up in June.
This just became an advertisement, I think.
Sounds like a great place for any age of life to kind of be in, If any 30-somethings out there want to share a studio apartment, I'm taking applications.
It's true, though. Even Bev was saying this is something that anyone can do, and she was very adamant about that. Anyone can do it. It doesn't matter on your income or anything like that. She says people should just get out there and try and make something like this happen. And if you want to see what this house looks like, we took a little video of it. We went through a little crib style through the entire house. You can go check it out. It's at cbc.ca/nowornever.
I'm Ify Chiwetelu.
And I'm Trevor Deneen.
And today on Now or Never, we are talking to people who are really nailing aging. Remember Frances from the top of the show?
Yes, she was the 90-year-old woman who, planked longer than you.
I can neither confirm or deny that, but I did tag along with her as she went to her morning exercise class at the Forks in Winnipeg. Twice a week, she goes in to do a mix of cardio, strength training, and dance moves, and I was not prepared at all. You're here in your really great Nikes, a brilliant green fluorescent top. You're wearing more jewelry than I think I own, and you have a purple streak in your hair. I feel like you're more prepared for a lot of parts of life today than I am.
Well, this is my usual dress.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Morning. I think you all know my name is Helen, and we're going to start up today with a warm-up.
Okay, so the class is about to start. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready to go.
Let's do it.
All right, let's put the music on.
That's the music we're doing. Whoa.
Lift your leg up as far as you can and stand on the other leg. Do a lot of balancing, which is hard, like on one leg.
So what keeps you coming back to this class every day?
Because I like exercising and I like being with people. I don't like housework.
I have a little trick for that.
Yes.
You just don't do it.
And shake down your hands. Then
Outside of these classes, what else? What do your days look like?
On Tuesdays, I come here, and then from here I go to badminton. On Wednesdays, I go bowling. What I would really like to do is ski behind my son's boat, but he won't take me. He's afraid I'll get hurt.
get basic step.
How are you? You're not even sweating at all.
No. I guess I'm probably not working hard enough.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. people that are my age are either 6 feet under or, like, I've lost lots of friends. And the ones that I have lost did not exercise. They were very sedentary. Yeah.
Is that something that motivates you to keep exercising?
Yes, I want to be moving. I don't want to be sitting around waiting for the time to come when I don't have to. When I was younger, I didn't think I would ever reach 90.
What age did you think you'd reach?
Well, I go according to my parents. My mother died at 60 and my father was 72 and he died. So when I reached 60, I thought, well, I guess this is my time. But it didn't happen, so I thought, well, this is going to be my life. I better keep going strong.
So we're back on the chair, and we're doing leg lifts. And Frances is rocking it like a champ. And I think I have a cramp. So we're both doing very well.
That sounds good.
What do you think is the difference? What has helped you to keep going?
My family, because they really encourage me. They really think it's something that I am. They tell all their friends, oh, my mother's 90 and she does this and she does that.
7, 8.
So what would you like to say to some of your friends who...
Get active. Get active. The cheapest way is to walk. You can walk. It doesn't cost anything. And I walk everywhere. And then that will probably motivate you to try something else.
Deep breath in and out. Thanks for coming out today. Everybody get out there and have a great day in this beautiful weather. Thank you.
How are you feeling now that the class is done?
Energized. I feel much better. I feel just alive. Yeah.
You know what? Whatever it is you got, if you could bottle it for me, just so in the morning I could take a quick hit of it so I can get going.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a quick sniff.
Yeah.
Quick sniff of whatever Frances is your essence. I'll take.
I can't bottle it. I'm sorry.
Well, maybe we'll work the science out in the next episode.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for letting us join you.
Well, thank you for coming and taking an interest in the seniors, because I think more people have to do that.
Look at Frances. Good job. I think we have a new goal on Now or Never. I think it's to get Frances behind a boat.
I'm actively working on it.
Like, honestly speaking, she would love it.
She was really great. I enjoyed spending time with her. And we actually shot a video of Frances in action, killing it in her exercise class. And you need to see it. You know the movie Rocky, like the training montage? That's basically the video we have of Frances. Just planking, doing some exercise, talking about it all with dramatic lighting. You have to see it. It's on our website, cbc.ca/now-or-never.
And I think if you're sitting at home right now wondering, should I go to the gym or not? Just go. Do what Frances would do.
Right now. But like after the show,
Yeah.
because we need you to finish this one up.
Another 40 minutes.
Yeah.
My name is Joe Sarkady, and I'm from Waterloo, and I'm 81 years old. I'll be 82 in March, and I love the ukulele. The nice thing about the ukulele is that it's smaller than a guitar. It's easy to carry. You can buy a soprano ukulele for about $39, $40 at music stores. I'm not really that good at it yet. I get by. So I went to Hesper to find out more about the ukulele club that was there. So the next thing I thought of was I better start something in Kitchener or Waterloo because we don't have anything here. That sort of motivated me to start one. So the first evening, we set up the chairs and we had special chord charts taped to the wall for people to utilize. And guess what? one person showed up. I was really, really disappointed that only one person came. But anyway, we set up anyway, and we played 3 or 4 songs and talked, and we decided that the word of mouth might also be very important. So I said, let's go around and every place we go, just talk about the ukulele club. And guess what? We went from one person to, right now we have about 30 people signed up, and it's rolling along very successfully.
Okay, key of C, 4/4 time. Let's see if we can find a beat for that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think my youngest is around 9 years old, and she comes every Wednesday, and the mother comes along with her. And I think now the mother is also hooked and is getting her own ukulele. We have at least 10, 12 seniors. So we have a wide range of personnel. I have trouble reading the chords and the words because I'm legally blind. And one of my problems is how to get by and play with the group. I try to memorize the songs and the words, and then I can follow along very well. It's been good for me because everything I do or I think I would like to do, I just go and do it. And I get a charge out of being good at it. I think being physical and meeting and learning to play with other people, I think is good for your personality. It gives you a spice of life. I think that's what drives me, the very fact that I went out to this ukulele club and we didn't have one and I didn't know much about it, and here I am now playing and singing and enjoying the group.
I love that. It's true. Never stop trying new things. I don't care at what point in your life you're at.
Or encouraging everyone else around you to learn new things. What a great story. And we want to know if there is a senior citizen in your life who you think has figured out the key to living their life to the fullest.
So we want to give them a shout out and kind of let the whole country know how inspired you are by them on our Facebook page. It's CBC Now or Never.
Or you can email us at nowornever@cbc.ca. So, Trevor, earlier this week, I met true Canadian royalty.
Really? Do tell.
Yeah, but first, before I tell you, you have to listen to this.
She's been looking this good since the last time she sat for an oil painting. She's wonderful. And she's a very important person to the fabric of this community. She really is. Ladies and gentlemen, she was there during the bathhouse riots of the 80s. She was there in the 70s when drag queens used to get dropped off at Cherry Beach to walk home and get the shit kicked out of them. She was there when this was a beautiful family home and the streets were cobblestoned with horses. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, she's been around. And not just important to this city, important to this country. Ladies and gentlemen, she was there and bought the first fur coat from Hudson's Bay in 1670. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please welcome her to the stage. The beautiful, the talented, the glamorous, the elegant, I'm hoping to be nice to get in the will, Michelle DuBarry!
Perfectly snarky introduction. But Michelle DuBarry, she is the 2-time Empress of the Imperial Court of Toronto. She was named the Guinness Book of World Records holder for world's oldest performing drag queen. And at 85, she is still as glamorous as ever. So I asked her what her secret is.
Well, I'm very healthy. I haven't smoked since or done any drugs since well, mostly I haven't smoked since the 50s, you know.
Okay.
With me, I have to be wearing my Depends, a good waist pincher, and a long life strapless bra. And do you know what my boobs are?
I hope you're about to tell me.
Yes, dolman sleeve shoulder pads.
Oh.
It looks like a padded shoulder on a dress, but rounded.
Okay.
So when you put it into the cup of the brassiere, it works perfectly.
Good to know. I was looking at some of those pictures that we have on our website, wondering the secrets of your cleavage. So,
well, another thing, as I got older, I was more on the muscular side when I was younger, but as I get older, I'm a little more flabby now. So when you put on the tight brassiere and the padding, and that sort of holds the flab together, you know, which gives you the cleavage.
To be clear, if you've never worn a waist pincher, you haven't lived.
At all.
At all.
At all. Michelle is the drag alter ego of Russell Aldred. He's been dressing up since he was 9 years old. So if you do the math, carry the 7, bed mass, all of that, that's 76 years of drag. And we actually have a picture of the first time that he did it when his cousins dressed him up in a strapless dress.
In a pose, you know, and they took a picture. I have that enlarged on my wall in the living room, yeah.
Aww. Do you remember what it felt like putting that on?
Oh, I assumed the pose very naturally, so I suspect there was a bit of a female in me, I think, probably, eh?
Well, and here you are several years later. Do you think 9-year-old you thought you'd still be putting on dresses at 85?
Oh, well, no, of course not. I didn't know what was going to happen the next year. In high school, another fellow and I decided to dress up as women to go to a Halloween dance at high school. And we looked so damn good. I mean, a fifth form student asked me to dance, and his brother told him I was a guy, so he was a bit peeved. But there was no bullying in my day because the word gay wasn't a word, and everything was like not known. It was just us having fun dressed up like women.
So you felt accepted while you were doing this?
Oh, I felt like I felt like I was real.
You can see 9-year-old Russell in that black strapless dress, plus many other pictures of him throughout the years on our website. And he has lived a really interesting life. He was acting in cabarets and traveling drag shows, and he still performs every week.
What about when he's not in drag?
I asked him about that.
I'm living in a rent-to-income co-op building. Moved in, it was very nice, but right now it's like there's no bed in the bedroom. It's full of the clothes I made over the 30 years, and shoes and everything. Now it's in this terrible state of affairs with, shall we say, cockroaches in the kitchen, and I have too much stuff. And I'm seeing a social worker right now. Actually, she drops by, and because another thing too, I've lost. Like all the kids in my show on the road have all died. They're all younger. I've lost all my really best friends because they died. At home, I'm so damned alone, and yet when I go down the street, I'm not alone because everybody knows me. So, I mean, now I'm getting all this acclaim now, and yet when I'm home in my apartment, I'm just terribly alone.
There's a lot of glamour behind being Michelle DuBarry, and a lot of realness about being Russell Aldred. And I think that's what makes this his now or never moment, the fact that he goes out there and he gets to experience a kind of celebrity in being Michelle. And it gives him life. And it's a life that he spreads to those even in nursing homes.
It's a gay-friendly home. Mm-hmm. I kid them that some of you are older than me, you know.
So what do you get out of doing those performances?
Oh, yeah, my goodness. Just the sparkle in their eyes. I lift my skirt and show my perfect legs to some older guy, and he gets a big smile.
Yeah, they're still perfect. They're always perfect.
Oh yes, I got fabulous legs, dear.
Oh, good.
Make sure I'm not boasting.
No, just presenting facts. Do you see yourself stopping performing anytime soon?
No, not really. Then I'll just die.
I guess so. So you're going to perform till the very end.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I,
Yeah.
for one, am really glad about that. And I'm sure so many people in Canada who've been able to see you perform are very appreciative.
One thing I appreciate is having the respect. I got this wonderful respect in my community. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's means so much. To be able to walk up and down the street and everybody wants to say hello and everybody wants to talk. And like I say, I wake up and count my blessings every day. And I don't know how long I've got in this world, but who cares?
Well, today, talking to you is one of my blessings. So thank you so much for making that time.
Okay. Thank you very much, dear.
I not so secretly love some drag. I love how transformative it can be, that you can be a person however you exist in your life, and then you can transform on stage. And I love that he's been able to live that transformation his entire life.
I think there has to be more Russells in the world because, oh my goodness,
Yeah.
the amount of energy and life he has inside of him. And I just love what he said, because as you talk to, and as we've talked to through the course of this episode, so many different people who have reached their senior years, one of the toughest things is dealing with the isolation and the loneliness that comes along with that sometimes, because as you mentioned, a lot of people pass away. But hearing him and how much life he gets from just seeing people and the respect he gets, I don't know, it just makes me smile just even thinking about it.
Aw, you know what makes me smile? Thinking of Russell taking you under his drag wing.
Let's do it.
And transforming you.
Mm-hmm.
We need to make that happen. Russell, if you are listening, Trevor Deneen is ready.
And Now We're Never audience, it's up to you to come up with my drag name.
Would you shave your legs?
Oh, I already do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how you live your life.
Do you want to see these things?
Please.
Check out these walking sticks. These things are just delightful.
Don't. You have to at least show. You know what? I feel like Michelle has better legs.
Are you kidding me right now?
I don't know.
Shine those things up, polish them, they'd be looking like $1 million. I just don't understand why I have to be judged. I thought this was a
I
safe
think
space.
you'd make a pretty drag queen.
Thank you. I think so too.
I'm Ifi Chiwetelu.
And I'm Trevor Deneen.
And on this episode of Now or Never, we are shining a spotlight on people who are reminding us that age, just like Aaliyah said, ain't nothing but a number.
And just to recap, so far, we've heard from some amazing women who have basically created Canada's coolest retirement home.
We met a 90-year-old exercise machine who also likes to challenge radio hosts to unsuspecting plank-offs.
She's not mad about that at all, by
Just
the way.
a little heated.
And an 81-year-old who's just rocking the ukulele.
And if you haven't already, you can see pictures of all of these people on our website at cbc.ca/now-or-never.
But our next stop actually takes us to the Shaftesbury Park Retirement Residence in Winnipeg. Now, this is a place where every week a bus swings by the residence to pick up a group of folks so they can go test their luck at the blackjack tables. And this bus alone is a blast to be on. I mean, right when you get on, you hear this.
Good afternoon, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to Bruce's afternoon drive, cash cab, and casino trip. Yay! So the plan of this afternoon is we are dropping some people off at the casino. We're going for a drive.
Let's go. We're wasting money.
Okay, Mrs. Yan, don't worry.
All right, for starters, is everybody buckled up? Thank you.
So with everybody buckled, the bus started rolling, and I was able to sit back and just talk with a few people about the joys of getting older and also looking back. What's your name?
Sheila.
And yourself, sir?
Bob.
How important is it to get out in one of these little drives on the bus?
Very important.
Yeah?
Well, it's a little change.
Get rid of the stir crazy.
Do you guys go into the casino or do you guys just go for the bus ride?
Or just for the bus ride and the fun.
If you had to look back on your life and if you could give advice to yourself back when you were 30 years old about growing up, getting older, what advice would you give yourself?
Use the rest of your life for yourself. You've raised your kids. You've done all that you had to do for working, and the rest of your life is yours. Mm-hmm. And enjoy it the most best you can. Yeah.
I'm a new dad. I have a 10-month-old son at home, and I look at my father, and I see him as this wise person, this person that knows so much, and he's my dad. And I feel like I don't have that wisdom to pass on to my son yet. At what point do you start feeling wise?
You make mistakes all the way along, but you gather knowledge as it goes on with your children, and you must be with them. That's very important, to be with your children as much as you can as they're growing up, because you'll regret it later if you don't. Yeah.
Thank you so much for talking. And I'm looking forward to watching you do this cash cab thing.
Yeah, well, we have to learn too.
Don't tell anyone. I'm rooting for you guys.
Okay.
What's your name?
Lily.
Do you enjoy coming out on the bus and going for these little trips?
Love it.
Yeah?
I like to go and play the blackjack.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't care if I win or lose. I just enjoy it. That's all.
I just picture you at the high roller table now with all your money. You're just like, you're like 1,000 on black.
I only take a certain amount. If I lose that, I'm finished. I save enough for a cup of coffee.
Do you mind if I ask how old you are?
92.
No, you aren't.
Okay, 29.
I'm going to need to see a license. What advice would you give to the 29-year-old you?
I wouldn't give anything. I don't want to be 29 again.
No?
No.
How come?
I went through it all. I loved it all, and that's enough.
It's in the past.
Yeah, it's in the past. You got to go, you got to go.
What's your name?
Joyce.
And yourself?
Izzy.
Izzy?
Yes. She's still a big flirt.
Look at this. Is this something that's known by everyone on the bus?
Stop the bus, please, Bruce. I gotta throw somebody off.
It's time for the next question. I'm going to save you from that one. For $2, what magazine was formerly called the Busy Man's Magazine?
What was your name, by the way?
Shirley Wilson.
Very nice to meet you, Shirley.
Thank you.
What's your favorite part of the days nowadays?
Well, I love to dance.
Do you?
Oh, yeah. I can still twist.
I feel like nowadays this generation doesn't have any real dance that they call their own, that it's good, because back in the day you had the twist, the salsa, the merengue, you had so many different ones, and now I think you have like the grind and like the twerk. They're just terrible dances you would never show your children, but whereas like now, back then the twist was a fun one.
Yeah. No, my husband and I used to love to waltz. We waltzed really very nicely together.
What would you say to someone who's thinking about aging and getting older?
Tell them there's no problem.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't mind being older. I've got a sister, Evelyn. She is 102, I believe, this year.
Wow.
And she is doing wonderfully. It is only just a number.
Well, I'm going to have to come back one day and you are going to have to show me how to twist. Okay. That's going to be a deal between you and I.
Okay.
Thanks so much for talking.
Thank you, Derek.
Come on, baby. Let's do the twist. Come on, baby. Let's do the twist.
This is Now or Never on CBC Radio 1. I am Ifi Chiwetelu.
And I'm Trevor Deneen.
And I would like to introduce you to Sheila Naismith. She's a retired social work professor from the University of Toronto, where she spent a lot of time researching the impact of ageism in our society. Nice. And I actually met her at a theater company where we were both doing improv classes.
Oh, very nice. Were you guys like being trees?
Is that what you think improv is? Being trees?
I went to one improv show one time and it was all about trees.
I think you didn't go to an improv. Maybe you just went for a walk in the forest.
That could be.
Not an improv show at all. So Sheila, she found a way to blend her academic background with her love of improv comedy. And she's here to tell us how she uses those things to rock out her golden years and how you can do it too. Hi, Sheila. Thanks for joining us.
Glad to be here.
So tell me about how you discovered improv comedy.
By being dragged to a performance at Fringe Theatre one year by a friend of mine, and I saw this wonderful performance. And this friend of mine said, yes, and they make it up on the spot. I said, just a moment. That interaction that went on was not rehearsed to death beforehand. He said, nope, it's called improv. So ever since then, I said, boy, in my last year of employment, when I have some breathing room, I'm going to study that. So I found an improv class, and I think I fell more and more in love with it every time I did it. I was also aware of the fact that one needs to keep one's brain synapses firing, and bridge sounded most appealing, with all due respect to my friends who are bridge players.
So what do you love about improv so much?
This is it. You have to be right on. I love working with people and people who come from a variety of different backgrounds. If you walk in there and I can bet my dinner that I am going to be the oldest person in the class by a decade minimum, which is challenging because I'm not up on the latest pop stars. As a matter of fact, I do a lot of improvising around who these various pop stars are and hope to God it comes out sounding reasonably okay.
So you went from having your first class to using improv as a tool for inspiring conversation around ageism. How did that happen?
At first glance, it's probably not obvious, but when I was explaining what improv was about, it's not unlike the situation that those of us over 65 are facing today. We have no script for what it is to age in our society. We have a bunch of stereotypes, we have a bunch of theories, but actually we really don't know what life looks like for people in their later years. So we're going to be improvising literally as we go along, but we have to start with what the lines are that are handed us. And I was working with the city of Toronto because they were putting in an age-friendly city focus, and they asked my opinion on it to develop what is loosely called a learning module on ageism, particularly to look at some of the stereotypes around aging amongst older adults themselves. And part of this, so it wouldn't just be in written form, was to do a number of vignettes, kind of like short scenes. That's the improv part. Okay. But to kind of put it in a different dimension, to bring it alive. The goal of the vignettes was to be made available to groups of seniors around the Greater Toronto area. We want people to perform them themselves, to adapt them, to answer the questions within their own communities.
Can you give us an example of what that looked like?
I'll give the one that, for some reason, audiences really liked. It took me a long while to figure out why they really liked it. But it's a group of two older women. They were in their early 70s, and one of them says, it's her husband's birthday next week, and she had booked a cottage, and they were going to once again, get their sex life back together. And her oldest daughter come in and wants to have them babysit the kid. And so she's standing there with this nightgown that she'd particularly bought for the occasion. And they're signaling to each other of, what happens with the getaway weekend? And then the people in the audience say, okay, so what kind of decision can she make? What kind of conversation can she have with her daughter? And people just come at it in different ways.
Did people shout out like, ignore the grandkids?
Yeah. Well, they said, they're my grandchildren. I'll be seen as a bad grandmother. But people were able to come in and say, you need to have this conversation with your daughter that you're more than a grandmother.
Very true. Did you ever act in any vignettes?
Yes. Yeah, I've actually acted, or I've taken minor roles. I would take roles because also people were sick, so you had to have, I felt like I was an understudy for all the roles.
I'm wondering if you can give us an example of how you have experienced ageism in your life.
When people say, oh my God, Sheila, you don't look your age. My first reaction to say, and what would looking my age entail? Because that's a way of saying I don't look like I'm 73. Okay, you've got a stereotype of what a 73 is like. On the other hand, I know that people don't say it to be insulting, but you can only push the education by saying something like, yep, this is what 73 looks like. We really don't have a very clear view in our society as to what life is like after 65. We got you pretty well regulated up to 65. But once you retire, it's like everything is in the past. You define yourself as what you have done.
Mm-hmm. So you have a background in improv, so I'm wondering if you want to play a little game with me. Quick thinking word game called 5 Things. So I'm just going to ask you for 5 things, and you're just going to list them off real quick.
Okay.
Okay, so what are 5 things that bother you about how society treats senior citizens?
They don't think.
1.
They cost us money.
2.
They're rather old-fashioned,
3.
The future is of no concern to them, therefore they don't get involved.
4.
Won't they just go away?
5. That was a solid 5. Got some good stuff out real quick.
Isn't that the theory behind 5 things?
It is. What are some key things that everyone can do to address ageism?
First of all, recognize that it's an issue. People say, no, ageism doesn't exist in our society because everybody's going to get old. But many of us think the stereotype of aging is not what I am going to. Everybody else is going to get old, but I'm not going to get old. I won't be one of those people. And as soon as you start referring to those people, you have discrimination. So I'd say the first thing is let's acknowledge that it's alive and thriving. I would say another one is your language. What are the words that you use to describe the old fogies? You often hear there is something called a gray tsunami. There's the burden of care that is coming down the road. All of this is related to an assumption that as people get older, they're going to use a lot of public money, particularly health care money. The fact that there is research that has been done in the area shows that an aging population actually contributes less than 1% to the increasing healthcare budget. One of the posters that we developed, we had a cartoon where 2 nurses are looking at an elderly man, and one nurse says, "This is an old person," or to use the more technical term, a bed blocker.
Wow.
But that language is used in healthcare all the time. So really watch your language.
Do you want to play 5 things again?
Okay.
You weren't expecting that, were you?
No, I was not expecting that.
5 things you want to be doing in your 90s.
Organizing a improv group in my senior citizens apartment building.
1.
Being able to continue to write on the computer.
2.
Go sailing in a big boat, not a small one.
Oh, 3.
To look at the world and say, I think I've made just a little bit of difference.
4.
Knowing that I will be dying in the next couple of years, but saying, that's okay.
Oh, and that's 5.
That's 5.
5 things. I'm so appreciative that we got to chat. Thank you so much, Sheila, for joining us.
Thank you. Ciao.
Bye. Every time I talk to Sheila Naismith, she always says such beautifully profound things that I'm left chewing on for the rest of the night, and this conversation was no exception. She is an ageism activist living in Toronto and an improviser performing all over. This is Now or Never on CBC Radio 1, where today we are getting inspired from some of Canada's most energetic senior citizens.
People like this nonagenarian, who we found at a regular bus stop on Portage Avenue in Winnipeg, just waiting for the number 10 bus.
I'm Cecilia Gonzalez, and I am 93 years old. Oh, yeah, I'm 93 years old. I'll be 93 in June. My routine, well, I wake up early in the morning. I say my prayers. At 8 o'clock, I eat my breakfast. At 8:30, I go out to walk. Oh yeah, I go from the bay to Main Street, taking the skywalk, and that takes me almost 3,000 steps. That's about how many steps I need for my daily upkeep, physically. I read it somewhere. I don't know where, but I read it somewhere that I need that many steps in order to keep up physically at my age. I say my rosary every day because I believe in God and I know that He is Almighty, and that's why I'm here. So, hi, how are you? Good, how are you? Fine, thank you. I watch the food that I eat. I exercise. And I pray. I pray for everyone. I pray to God to hear everyone's prayers and to give peace to this world. When my mother died, the first thing she told me is to treat everyone the best that you can. Everyone, regardless whether they are friends, whether they are relatives, or whether they are strangers. Just be good to everyone. Saying good morning or how are you does not take a lot of time. You know, it starts your day right, isn't it? At this time in my life, I really do not need anything. All I need is God's blessing, nothing else. And friends around. Friends make you live. Friends make you enjoy your day. Like I have a friend whose name is Karin. I meet her every morning. We hug. We say good morning, and it makes my day. Have a good day.
Have a good day.
That's Cecilia Gonzalez on the go at age 92. And I think my favorite part about that is the fact that she uses the old Hulk Hogan adage of train, say your prayers, and eat your vitamins, and that's what's going to help you live a good life.
It's a good recipe.
I would
I'd
eat
try
that
it,
recipe.
but yeah. For all the senior citizens out there who are listening right now, we want to know what your secret recipe is to rocking out your golden years.
You can leave us a message on the Now or Never phone line. It's open 24 hours a day, and I'm going to give you some time to go find a pen and write this down. Do you think they're going?
Probably not.
This just takes 2 seconds to get a pen. They should go grab one.
I know, but maybe they're going to write it into their phones.
They could do that.
Or they're just going to memorize it.
Okay, I'm going to give it to them now.
Okay.
It's 1-844-375-5669.
And for those of you who didn't grab a pen and are struggling to memorize it, you can also try dialing 1-Tiger55 now. Maybe that's your drag name. Tiger55.
Nailed it.
Now.